Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by BASF, where the performance of Veltima fungicide can take your best results even further. Well, our next monthly check-in at Farm Credit Mid-America will be this Friday, the 18th. The Axis Seeds County Fair Tour first stop is Monday the 21st, with their first check presentation of the season going to the Clark County Junior Fair Board. Well, the landscape of potential tariffs continues to shift. Chad Smith has more.
Several major developments have taken place when it comes to trade. This includes delays of implementation of country-specific tariffs, as well as new threats of tariffs against the European Union, Mexico, and Brazil. Dave Salmonson, Senior Director of Government Affairs for the American Farm Bureau Federation, says the new deadline to circle on the calendar is August 1st.
The president announced that about a week ago, giving many countries more time to negotiate deals with the U.S. to lower tariffs. And certainly in agriculture, we hope to reduce barriers and increase our opportunities to export our products.
Salmonson says farmers could face the brunt of impacts if tariffs are implemented.
I think you'd get a couple of impacts. One, their products coming in here, of course, would be more expensive. Some of these tariffs from the 20 to 30% or higher. Things that farmers use, inputs that come from overseas, would definitely become pricier. If tariffs go into effect, countries will respond. Either they retaliate with their own tariffs on us, or they may look elsewhere to buy.
Salmonson said it's still too early to know how trading partners will react. Chad Smith, Washington.
According to new research from University of Arkansas Extension economist Ryan Loy, more U.S. farms filed for bankruptcy in the first 3 months of 2025 than during the entire 2024 calendar year. The information shows that the 259 filings in the first 3 months of 2025 are the most in any year since 2021. Well, what did USDA's July forecast for both old and new marketing year ending stocks for wheat do to this month's domestic balance sheets?
A tightening of ending stocks in the 2025-26 domestic wheat balance sheet for July. But why? World Agricultural Outlook Board Chair Mark Jekanowski.
We got new information from NASS with regard to both winter wheat production forecasts and the first survey-based forecasts for spring wheat production,
resulting in a 17 million bushel increase in the U.S. wheat balance sheet when you also add in beginning stocks. However,
wheat exports we raised by 25 million bushels, which would bring our total wheat export forecast to 850 million bushels, up about 24 million bushels year over year.
Ending stocks were then lowered 8 million bushels from the previous month.
Season average wheat price forecast for the new crop year unchanged this month at $5.40 per bushel, down 12 cents year over year.
I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
Agricultural producers and private landowners can now enroll in the Grassland Conservation Reserve Program. The sign-up runs from now until August 8th. Hundreds of veterinary professionals will meet with senators, representatives, and their staffs on Thursday to advocate for legislation that will help address the emerging threat of illicit xylazine while preserving access to the animal sedative. They'll also be discussing ways to boost the retention of veterinarians in rural and underserved communities. And inspections of corn, beans, and wheat for offshore delivery all declined week over week. Corn assessments in the 7 days that ended July 10th totaled 1.29 million metric tons. The markets are next.
Friday, July 25th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Join us on Friday, July 25th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. We'll see you there.
Be aware, ticks are there. As you head outdoors, remember to avoid tall grass, wear light-colored full-coverage clothing, and use EPA-registered repellent. Be sure to thoroughly check for ticks after you head in for the day. If you find any ticks, Remove them carefully with tweezers and watch for symptoms such as fever, headache, or rash. For more information on ticks and tick bite prevention, head over to ohio.gov/ticks.
Markets brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. At the Board of Trade, September corn 4.05 and a quarter, up 4. December corn $4.24, up 4 and a quarter. August soybeans 10.13 and a half, up 18 and a half. November beans 10.20 and a half, up 18 and 3/4. September wheat 5.41 and a quarter, up 3 and a quarter. At the Mercantile Exchange, August cattle $223.90, up $1.50. August hogs $104.42, up 50 cents. September feeder cattle $325.85, up $3.47. This is the Ohio AgNet.